Allahu Akbar.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أيتها الأخوات أيها الإخوة أحييكم بتحية الإسلام تحية من عند الله مباركة السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So as you know, for the next 20 minutes we just try to listen, no clapping, just to listen. Even when I end my talk, we just try to be silent and to try to get the substance of what I'm trying to say. First, I really, on your behalf, and this is the first time I'm coming to ICNA Mass Convention, I want to thank the sisters and the brothers for what they have been doing. It was a great convention, and when you see what is happening, it's just huge, amazing. So, Jazakumullah anna kulla khair for what you are doing and the way you are serving the American Muslims and the American society. I think that from the bottom of our hearts, we need to thank you, and as we know that we are not thanking Allah if we don't thank our brothers and sisters. The second thing that I wanted to say is that with this convention here and coming and having all these people, we're also trying to be in touch and try to respond to many of your questions, and unfortunately you are too many and it's quite difficult. I said it many times over the last 2 days, I'm trying to give less lectures but still to be connected. So once again, what we are trying to do, and I came with the leaflets presenting and introducing what I'm trying to do with the Center on Islamic Legislation and Ethics with scholars of the text and the context. So in the booth you have the leaflets, and anyone who is working in any of the 12 fields or even beyond that on ethics, she or he is welcome to be connected, because at the end what we want is proactive scholars but also active Muslims, men and women. And once again, through the official website, official Facebook page, the new application. Many are telling me there are too many things in Arabic and in French and not in English. Now we have an application in English. Everything is in English, so you can get that and just follow the work. So this is something that I wanted to say at the beginning. And now I have a personal message. A personal message as I'm visiting this country. I have been banned from the States for 6 years. This was 10 years ago. Well, alhamdulillah, because of the support of the American Civil Liberties Union and many Muslims, not always Muslim organizations to tell you the truth, but people who are struggling for justice in this society, American citizens, many of them, and in fact the great majority of them, were not Muslims at the forefront, even though I'm not forgetting all the Muslims who from behind the scene was supporting. Now I'm here, and over the last 4 years have been able to come and to talk to you. And many of you, you come and you say, MashaAllah, brother, come again next year. And they come and they sit and they listen. So I have a personal message to every one of you, and before this, I just want to talk to somebody in whom at one point in history I thought that he was going to do something from this country and changing the domestic policies. Just silence and you listen and you take this for you. It's a personal message, because if Islam makes sense, it starts with this. I'm just talking to your president, the President of the United States of America, hoping that through all this what we have, something will reach him. Telling him and asking him, in the name of humanity, in the name of justice, in the name of dignity, we thought that you were going to change the policy of this country for the better. While I have two questions, and it's two questions among too many questions that I have to you. But there is one question. There is one of your citizens. His name is Mohammed Sultan. He's an American citizen. He went to Egypt to visit his mother who had a cancer. And he was supporting non-violent demonstration in Egypt against the military coup. The military coup now means 23,000 people in jail for political opinions. They haven't killed anybody, while the army killed thousands. I have a question, Mr. President. How come can you let one of your citizens in jail, innocent, on hunger strike, and he is close to death, and no one is talking about this? Mr. President, this is the dignity of this country, at least to be clear about rights and dignity. And by the way, that's one example asking you to support all the people who everywhere in the world are in jail for no other reasons that they are supporting justice, freedom, and the democracy you are calling for. No, no, no clap. No, no, no. Never. That's a fatwa. Second, I have another question. I didn't know the story, and I heard that there is a mother. She is the mother of 3 children. She is not an American. She has a doctorate in neuroscience, and she was in Pakistan, and she was jailed and unjustly convicted of trying to kill 2 American soldiers. Trying to kill. Over the last 11 years, she has been on solitary confinement. And you know what it means? Solitary confinement is, by all standards, psychological torture. That's the reality of it. And she is in jail in the United States of America, and she is not an American. We might ask the Pakistani government to take her back. But at least I don't understand how come you are silent about American citizens in Egypt being jailed, and you take Pakistani citizens in jail in the United States of America in an unjust way. So this is a message that, as a Swiss citizen visiting this country, after having been banned from this country for 6 years, I have a message. And this is my responsibility. I'm here to struggle for justice. And if, in your name, I cannot enter this country because you are talking about justice, implementing injustice, I prefer not to come here. But that's now a message for you. American citizens, at least with your faith, at least with your courage, at least with La ilaha illallah, understanding that this message is justice for all, and courage in front of all dictators or in front of policies that are not supporting justice. It's for you first to know what is happening in this country. At the time that you are listening to me, there are people in jail. They don't know why they are in jail in this country. I was told you were supporting terrorism, and then they came to me and said, we made a mistake, but no apology. No apology. How come you can treat the people as if they were nothing? I was not in jail. I was not deported. I was not tortured, but I was insulted. And then you are torturing people, killing people, and we want the best for this country, meaning you American citizens stand up for what is right, justice, dignity, and speak out. And if you cannot speak out, at least you need to know what is happening. At least be good Muslim for America, meaning make this country better. Stop celebrating the past with Malcolm X was great. What about you? What about you? What about the Muslims now? And when I have now some Muslims coming to me and say, you know what? Islam is all about spirituality, mysticism, purifying your heart. How come are you going to purify your heart if your mouths are sealed? How come are you following the Prophet ﷺ when he was the first to be at the forefront, courageous, and showing the example and telling you through the Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. That's the message. It's not only to smile. Yes, to smile, but to stand up. Yes, to smile, but to be courageous. Yes, to smile, but to speak up. To speak out and to be vocal. So I'm sorry to tell you that as I'm coming here and listening to all these stories and listening to what is done, you know that in Yemen now, you have people being killed with drones, with people sitting in California and playing as if we are playing with life. But when it's the life of Arabs and Palestinians and Syrians, it's as if it's nothing. Is this the message of Islam? Don't you have you Muslims to come to this country and to send the message to this country that we came here for the better in this country? We are American citizens and we will never, ever keep silent in front of injustices. That's not us. Not only injustices towards Muslims, but every single human being. You know, I'm proud to get a message coming from the Chinese embassy telling me, Tariq Ramadan, you are not welcome in China. I'm proud of that. Because if my struggle is to support the Tibetans and to say what you are doing with the Tibetans, it's unjust. I'm not going to keep quiet for your market and your money. I stand up for justice. And if the money it's keeping you silent, my face is making me vocal. That's what you have to be in this society. So please stop celebrating the past with the Rasul ﷺ was so great, the companions, and then the past. Ibn Taymiyyah was put in jail, so many scholars, Abu Hanifa, Shafi'i, Ibn Hanbal, all these great names, and then we come to the Muslims today and they are just idealizing and celebrating the past, absent, invisible in the present. Be courageous. Stand up. And to do this, it's not going to be emotional as the way I am now. It's come back to the message of Islam and you can get something which is essential. Why Islam makes sense today. Because there is something which is essential here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in everything. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We made you the nation of the middle path, which means in everything it's about wisdom. You know wisdom? وَأَعْطِ كُلَّ ذِي حَقٍّ حَقًّا. Give everything its rights or his or her rights. In everything, Islam is about balancing. وَلَا تُخْسِرُوا الْمِيزَانِ. It's coming from Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. And He's telling us, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. He sent the Prophet ﷺ as a mercy. Everything is about mercy and everything is about balancing. لَا تُخْسِرُوا الْمِيزَانِ. Meaning here that while we are living this life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in the Quran, لَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Don't forget your share in this life. So you have to take from this life. But Allah yad'u ila dar as-salam. Allah is calling you for the hereafter. So you are between these two lives. And then what you need to understand is, how am I going to be useful in this life, not forgetting the hereafter? It's about balance. And then you come to yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you everything is about balancing with yourself. First, you have a mind, and then you have to be just with your mind. So you have to educate yourself. And then you have a heart. And the heart is, the duty that you have towards your heart is to find peace. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. It's the peace of heart. And it's coming from what? It's coming from تَزْكِيَةِ النَّفْس. تَزْكِيَةِ النَّفْس, how do you have to take care of your heart? It's balancing. But if you don't take care of your heart, something is going to be wrong with your mind. And if you don't take care of your mind, something is going to be wrong with your heart. It's always balancing. And then you have the body. And there is something which is very important in Islam, is you purify your body through praying and through fasting and through zakat. This is the way, it's the physical side. And you have to take advantage of everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you with your body. So we don't have a problem with tenderness. We don't have a problem with sport. We don't have a problem with sexuality. We don't have a problem with everything Allah gave us, and He's asking us, master, control, and find the balance. Islam is about this. Find the balance. In your society today, it's a society where consumption is everywhere. We understand through Ramadan that is coming now, through the fact that we are praying, that we need to find always the balance. Listen to your heart, think with your mind, and protect your body. This is Islam. This is where we have to understand. And Islam is a very rational religion. It's not irrational. It's very rational. At one point, the rationality of Islam is telling you there are things in your religion that are beyond rationality. It's rational to understand that there are limits to rationality. That some points you cannot answer rationally. You know this in your life. When you love, you cannot always give the reasons of your love. You love because it's there. So your rationality could explain many things, and there are limits. Islam is about this. It's a rational religion telling you the limits of rationality. It's a religion where everything is about take care of yourself. Take care of your heart. Take care of your mind. Take care of your physical life. So this is where I think it's all about educating ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and we have to get also this balance between the individual and the community. And as we are striving, and this is the first dimension that we need to understand as Muslims, we have to struggle with our own self and get it as it is. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Try to be a better person and purify everything that you have. Your heart, your mind, your body, your money, everything. There is a tazkiyah, a purification process. This is the spirituality of Islam. But there is also something which is very important. This is the way you get peace. And this is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Quran, ادخلوا في السلم كافة. Enter in God's peace with everything, with all your heart, your mind, and yourself. But to do this, the other side is, remember one thing. You are in this country, you are at home wherever you can say La ilaha illallah. Wherever you say La ilaha illallah, it's home for you. Yes, I'm following. I still have 1 minute. No, look, I'm under. I'm still. So you took from me 20 seconds. I'm Swiss. By the way, you know what? Before coming here, yes, Swiss with time, it's very tough. I came here thinking that the Egyptians were the best in fundraising. I'm sorry. I have to acknowledge now that with Imam Siraj Wahhaj, you can't beat him on that. African American, that's the way. And I love him as well. The point that I wanted to end with is, as much as we are coming to enter in Allah's peace, in God's peace, we are people who are reconciling. You are in the United States of America to reconcile the American values with the society. You are here as an added value for yourself to try to be good Muslims, but for this society. the people around you and yourself, you should understand this as your mission. Your mission in America is to reconcile yourself with your value and the United States of America with its values. Meaning, you are here to strive for justice and freedom. Meaning, something happened in this country is as if when you deal with Muslims, they think they are not free to speak, free to think. You have to reconcile this country with freedom of thinking, freedom of expression, and freedom as something which is part of who you are. Second, you have to reconcile this country with justice, equality, meaning when you come here, you have to struggle against any kind of racism in this country. Against the black people, against the Native American, against the Arabs, against the Muslims, against the Latinos. The Latinos are the targeted community today. You should be part of this struggle for justice. You are here as Muslims, purifying yourself through your struggles. It's through the struggles that you purify your heart. ما وقع في القلب وصدقه العمل. This is al-Iman, is what is in your heart, and we can see it, it's visible. So struggle against any kind of injustice, any kind of racism, for the name of and for the sake of freedom. And once again, remember something. There are things that are done by your country. You have maybe an American passport. There are things that are done elsewhere in the name of your country. It's your duty to be involved in domestic policies with local authorities and with your government to make these policies change around the world. That's your duty. Be Muslim, meaning stand up. Be clear with what means La ilaha illallah. I do not worship anybody except Allah, and I'm ready to protect human dignity, to promote freedom and justice, and to resist injustices, racism, and undignified treatment. May Allah help us. May Allah protect you. And please, just for until the next speaker is coming, you just be silent and you think about it. You know what does it mean? Muraqabah. Thinking, where am I in this picture? Because clapping you are going to forget. Now think. Assalamu alaikum.